Hey guys, we interrupt your regularly scheduled program with this breaking news because we just got some spy shots of, well, one of two things, and either one is extremely exciting. So Tommy, what are the two possibilities of this truck?
Well, so here's the picture, and it looks like one of two things. It could either be a single cab Ford Raptor variant, or potentially a test mule for a full-sized two-door Bronco.
And in this video, we're going to discuss the two different possibilities. Of course, you guys know that probably the hottest and most interesting upcoming new vehicle is the Bronco. So when we get Bronco news, we jump right on top of it. But this could also be something just as exciting, which is basically a two-door Raptor. So let's kind of talk about the pros and cons of each of those possibilities, and we've got some stuff on the board. So let's hit the board. First and foremost, it looks like a Ford Raptor at first glance, but is it? And that's because, of course, Ford currently sells the Raptor as a super cab, extended cab, right? That means it's either got four doors that open the traditional way, or it's got four doors, two that open forward and two that open in the suicide fashion. There is no two-door Ford Raptor. And of course, this spy shot shows us just that. Or is it, Tommy? Let's keep going. Let's speculate about why this could be the next, I'm going to say it, full-size Bronco. So let's go through the arguments for a two-door Raptor and the arguments for a larger Bronco. So Tommy, you want to go for the two-door Raptor?
So I actually think that the full-size Bronco is a little bit of a stretch. So I'm going to let my dad take that. But I really do think that this could be a two-door Raptor. First of all, it looks like it has the wide track of a Raptor. It's got the fender flares of a Raptor. It's got the front end of a Raptor. It even looks like it has the bed of a Raptor. I mean, this looks like a pretty complete prototype minus the front and rear bumpers. Now, why would they potentially do a two-door Raptor other than some of you enthusiasts out there really asking for it? Well, if you remember at the Easter Jeep Safari this year, Jeep showed a concept of a two-door Gladiator, and it was hugely popular.
Yeah, you guys lost your you-know-what over it, and so did we, because it just looked right. It was something that the proportions were the right size, the look was really cool, and let's face it, that does not exist today. And so it would make sense that you could potentially get a two-door Raptor, because the Raptor is Ford's halo truck, and if you're going to go and create something that is, well, I'm going to use the word badass, then why not do it on the Raptor platform?
Well, sure, and you know, just think about it. You've got a shorter wheelbase with the single cab Raptor, so you've got a great breakover angle. I mean, it's kind of the perfect off-road truck. Yes, the super cab and the super crew Raptor are impressive off-road, but they're also built, you know, to haul families and to haul people. A single cab Raptor looks like it's built for desert running exclusively, maybe only with two seats. So this is why I really do think it's a single cab Raptor and not a larger Bronco. Primarily, it's because the Bronco test mules we have seen look to be based on the T6 platform, which is what the current Ranger is based on. And that's what all the speculation has been, you know, for the last couple of years, is that the new Bronco is going to be based on a Ranger, not on an F-150. And this is pretty darn clearly an F-150 because it's got, you know, F-150 cab, right? It's got old style F-150 wheels from the old Raptor. It's even got, you know, the general proportions of an F-150. And this is where it gets really interesting because you can't actually buy an F-150 with a single cab and a 5.5-foot bed. And this prototype looks like it's a single cab with exactly that, a 5.5-foot bed.
And in fact, Ford has said that they're going to base the next Bronco on the T6 Ford Ranger platform, but just because they said it doesn't mean that's what's going to happen, right? I mean, that could be throwing a little bit of mud into the conversation.
No, I don't think that this is going to be a full-size Bronco, and part of that is because it looks almost production ready. I mean, you know, the proportions look right, the way that the bed mounts to the single cab looks right, the front end looks like it matches, and there's no camouflage on it, which is probably a little suspicious. But I actually do think that this could potentially be that really, really sick single cab Raptor you guys have been looking for a long time.
But I haven't heard a lot of people out there yelling for a single cab Raptor.
Oh, I have. Oh, for sure. And check this out. Look at the photos. It even looks like it has rock rails that fit the body perfectly.
All right, let's talk about why I think that this is going to be an argument for a larger Bronco. So let's start with something that I think is not obvious, but certainly is potentially possible, and that is that something is going on under the skin. We've got pictures of obviously what looks like a two-door Raptor, but this could be a prototype mule that's running with the drivetrain, with the suspension, with all the bits that are underneath the skin for the upcoming Bronco. Hard to say, but it would be clever of Ford to actually disguise their prototype as a two-door Raptor, because it would create videos like this, it would create a lot of buzz. I mean, it makes a lot of sense for them to do it. And Ford has been known to be a little on the sneaky side when it comes to their prototypes. Let's keep going. The last Bronco, if you guys recall, was basically an F-150, so it makes sense that despite Ford's claims, the new Bronco would be based on the F-150 platform. I'm thinking about, of course, the O.J. Simpson Bronco, right? That was a Bronco that, from the drivetrain perspective, from a chassis perspective, was basically based on an F-150. So why wouldn't the next Bronco also be based on an F-150? And of course, we all know that a two-door Bronco is coming, and this is a two-door Raptor. Maybe just from the outside, but maybe underneath it is indeed a two-door Bronco. Now, let's talk about no prior hints of a single cab F-150, Tommy, because you said that people are excited about it, but I've not heard anything from Ford about the possibility, or even a hint from Ford about the possibility of a two-door Raptor.
Well, we should clarify, there is currently a single cab F-150 available, just not in the Raptor trim and not with the 5.5-foot bed. This is why I think this is kind of bogus, especially the second claim that there was more or less an F-150 in the previous gen. Yes, it was a full-size Bronco, but keep in mind, back in the 90s when that vehicle was out, it targeted the full-size Blazer. Right? I mean, there was actual competition, and there was even the Ram Charger there for a while. So it competed directly against GM and Ram, but a full-size Bronco wouldn't compete against anything.
Well, unfortunately, the current Blazer is certainly not a truck. I'll give you that, Tommy. But you know, we just got these pictures. We've studied them, maybe 15 minutes. And now that you guys are watching this video and you've had a chance to actually look at the pictures a little bit longer, let us know what you see underneath the skin. Obviously, the bumpers aren't production ready, but the rest of the vehicle does look like it's production ready. You can see that it has leaf springs in the back from the side view. These are just some of the things that we've noticed by looking more closely at the pictures.
Well, it's got a solid rear axle still, like the Raptor does. One thing that is a little weird is, the Raptor has those exhaust that sticks straight out the back.
Yep.
And it's kind of been a Raptor thing for a while now. This one doesn't have that, so I wonder maybe if they're testing engines. So that would actually support your claim for like a larger Bronco. Maybe it's something else going on underneath that they're not.
However, the tailgate does say F-150 on the back of it.
Yes, but that's because it fits in with the bed. I mean, like, all in all, it looks like an almost production-ready truck.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, it really could look like something that they put in production soon.
So I think it's a win-win either way, because if it is indeed a two-door, almost production-ready Raptor, then it's going to be way cool. And if it is the underneath the skin part of a two-door Bronco that's coming, that's going to be even cooler. So there's no losing here.
Well, keep in mind too, granted, a larger Bronco would be white space in the automotive industry, something new. But you got to also figure that Ford knows that Ram is coming out with the TRX, right? The T-Rex, the Raptor beater. And from all we've seen and all we've heard, that's only going to be, like that big crew cab truck. Those are the concepts we've seen. So maybe Ford is looking to target a new audience with the two-door Raptor to like undercut Ram before.
Are you suggesting the most mind-blowing possibility of all, and that is a two-door Raptor with a GT500 power plant underneath?
I'm not suggesting that.
Ford, we want that. Or is this all just a bunch of smoke created to create more videos like this, created to basically pump up Ford?
And it could be. I mean, a lot of the times these manufacturers, they'll actually release stuff in the wild to get excitement building around what's going on.
Well, it definitely worked, and I'm going to go with a two-door Raptor with the GT500 power plant.
No, they're not going to do that. I'm going to go with the two-door Raptor, period.
Let us know which one of us is correct. Is it me or is it me?
No, it isn't. Of course, if they did do that larger Bronco, it would make sense to have a short wheelbase version, right? Because they already have, the Expedition and the Explorer, which are these big, full-size SUVs. So if they were to do a large Bronco, I would actually foresee them doing like a small in terms of wheelbase, two-door version.
This is a lot of speculation, guys. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. And keep in mind, you saw it first on the Fast Lane truck. And the second we know anything else, we will throw it up on video. And of course, we'll put it up on our website, tfltruck.com. As always, this is Roman.
And Tommy, go back to tfltruck.com for more news, views, and real-world Bronco news.
Yes, the first GT500 powered two-door Raptor. See you guys next time. Ciao.